What's up, guys? So, yeah, we're jumping on the free Diag bandwagon because it feels like the right thing to do. Um, Free Diag. Is anything free worth it? I mean, is it really worth anything? Uh, I personally, I don't want to deal with people who want to think they're getting something for free. I want people who appreciate and value my services. I think that that's way more important than implying that something is free when you're just rolling it in elsewhere. And there's a lot of ways to do it. I just agree with being upfront. That's my approach to it. That's the way I've done it for a very long time. If I'm going to charge you for something, you're gonna know what that charge is. I don't really feel like I need to hide it or bury it somewhere. Um, and not in a malicious way or not in a sketchy way, I guess. But I don't like the implication that I'm doing something for free. If I'm doing something for free or I'm throwing something in, I'm going to tell you that. And I'm going to tell you why. But my time's valuable. The experience I have is valuable. I don't feel like I should give that away or give the implication that I'm giving that away in the attempt to get a job through the door. If you can afford me, you're probably not looking for the cheapest, you're looking for the best. And I'm not saying I'm the best by any stretch of the imagination. Don't misunderstand. I feel like I'm pretty good at what I do, but there are plenty of guys that are way better. Um, that's, I think, with anything. We jump into this. I don't think any of us come into this expecting to suck or wanting to suck. Um, there are plenty that do. I mean, some people just ate too many marbles when they were a young child and it carried over. But I don't think that, any of us do this with the intention to do a half-assed job. And I would never imply that. If I feel that way about someone, they know it. Trust me. Because I've said that to people. But I don't think any of us come into this looking to do a poor job or a low-quality job. I don't think anyone wants to just scrape by with the bare minimum. There are some that are looking at volume and quality as a secondary consideration. I don't understand the mentality, but I know it exists. Same as the guys who get all their parts from, the cheapest vendor. Guys ordering stuff from Rock Auto make me cringe. Not because they're getting a cheap part, because they're putting it in a client's vehicle that's going to fail in a week and then has the very real potential to take something else out. How many coils have we seen that came off rock or came from whatever vendor, eBay, junkyard, that melt down and take out an ECM? Because that never happens, right? It comes back to, is cheap or better. You get what you pay for. That's true in anything. If you pay a super cheap price, there's a corner being cut somewhere. Um, I don't think that's really an arguable point. It's reality. If you're paying a super cheap price or a discounted rate, however you want to phrase it, but if it too cheap is too cheap and it's only cheap the first time, why try and lure people in with free anything? Uh, it everyone does it, but I don't necessarily agree with it. I think we have an obligation to be straight up, to be upfront, um, and to value our time and charge accordingly for our time and our skill. We're not in a world where anybody can do this. I think that world left a long time ago. We're way more than a decade past it, probably closer to 20 years. Um, these aren't simple machines. They're not simple mechanical things anymore. There's a lot of stuff happening that there's no visual indicator for. You can't see it. You have to understand how to find the answers you need. That takes time. It takes skill. It takes training. It takes a lot of things that you don't get by operating as a cheap budget shop, as a cheap budget operator. Whether you're a shop, whether you're a mobile guy, whatever. You can't do this cheaply and get away with it. So let's be transparent with it. Be real about it. You're paying this regardless. This is what it costs for me to find out what's wrong. Once I know what's wrong, then I can tell you how much it's going to cost to fix it. It's simple. To fix it is this much. To not fix it is this much. I mean, is that really that hard? Are we that scared of hearing no? Are we that afraid of telling people, yes, I'm going to charge you to test? I'm not calling a plumber out who's going to come out and give me a free eval. It's probably going to be a pretty shitty eval, potentially, literally. But I don't expect anyone to work for me for free. I don't expect to work for free. I think that's pretty reasonable and pretty straightforward.